love telling the story of the Buddha. Somebody asked it a few minutes ago, and I don't know, do any of you know the story? I know Maggie knows the story. You guys know the story of how the Buddha came to be here? What? Well, it's a fun story. My sister was here visiting a few years, about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and it was a March when it was rainy, rainy, rainy. I don't know if you guys remember that. A couple years back, it was just constant pouring rain. And we decided to go to Wailea to go for a walk because it was so rainy up here. And we're driving down Haleakala Highway, and I said, you know, wouldn't it be cool to have a big, giant, beautiful Buddha in the greenhouse? And she said, oh, that would be awesome. And I said, but the problem is, I'm sure there's not one on Maui. And if I go looking for one, you know, that could take me months and a whole lot of money to find a big, beautiful Buddha, because I want one that's just super sweet, that no matter what religion you are, you feel that sweetness and that peacefulness, that it just emanates that. And, you know, if I go looking for one, it could take me months to find it and could cost all kinds of money, and then I have to ship it, and I don't know how to do that. And then I thought, well, you know, if I give money to friends who are importers, they might bring me one back that has a scowl on its face. Because, you know, I don't know if you've noticed, but not all Buddhas are created equal. and I wanted one that just had that immense sweetness. So by the time we got down to the top of, or the bottom of Haleakala Highway, now mind you, this is about a 4-mile distance. It wasn't very far. I looked over toward Kihei and went, oh no, it's raining there too. What are we going to do? It's a Sunday morning, she's visiting, and I don't know what to do, and it's raining. And I thought, well, let's go to the bamboo store in Kahului and see if there's anything we can decorate the greenhouse with. This was when we first started doing the greenhouse, and we wanted to just make it a little bit more, you know, impressive. So we stopped at the bamboo store. Now they sell literally bamboo and bamboo furniture, not much. And we pulled up in front and went, and it was closed. Sunday morning, bamboo store's closed, it's raining. I'm thinking, what am I gonna do? My sister's visiting. And right next door, Finders Keepers opened. Have you guys been to Finders Keepers? It's a used furniture store. And I went, okay, well, let's look at used furniture on Sunday morning. So we walked into Finders Keepers, and within the first 10 steps in the door, there was the Buddha. And I just went, oh my gosh, there he is. I mean, we literally drove from the conversation directly to the Buddha. But then the problem was that he was rather expensive. So I sat down at the desk of the lady who had very graciously come over and said, girls, if there's anything I can help you with, let me know. I'll be sitting over here. So I went and I sat down and I said, here's the deal. I love that Buddha. I want that Buddha. I can't afford that Buddha. And she said, well, make us an offer. And I stood there literally dumbfounded, like, where am I going to start? If I go down a few $1,000s, they're going to go up $1,000, or I'm not going to even have the chutzpah to do this because I have no Buddha budget. This was not in my plans. This was a thought 10 minutes ago. And my sister walks over and offers them something like 2/3 of what they were asking. And the lady says, well, I'm going to need to call the owner of the Buddha and the owner of the store, because he's on consignment, and see whether that's acceptable. If they say yes, are you prepared to buy the Buddha today? Wasn't that a good salesman question? And I immediately started thinking, no, I can't buy the Buddha today. I've got to discuss it with my husband. I've got to figure out where I'm going to put it. My sister says, yes, we're prepared to buy the Buddha. Thank God for my sister. So she said, okay, well, give me a minute and just walk around the store, and I'll be back in a minute. And so I walked over to the Buddha, and I said, okay, my dear, because at this point he was sitting on the floor. We were eye to eye. I said, here's the deal. If you want to come home with us and be a part of the greenhouse, you're going to have to make this price work, because if they start negotiating with me, I'm not going to have the guts to do this. Okay, we're going to look at furniture. See you in a minute, Buddha. So we went walking around the store, and a few minutes later, the lady walks over and she says, you'll never believe this. This Buddha there's been a guy who wanted this Buddha who's been going back and forth with the owner of the store and the owner of the Buddha for a week, negotiating on the price. And they finally agreed on the rock bottom price yesterday, which was Saturday, of what they would accept for the Buddha. And he was supposed to come in and pay for it by 5 o'clock that night, and he never showed up. And we walked in at opening, offered the exact same amount. So they decided that rather than starting the negotiation process all over again, they would let us have the Buddha for the price that we offered. And so with no negotiation, we ended up having the Buddha. Now, of course, the funny part of that story was that I then had to call my husband, who I would have consulted with had my sister not been there, and say, honey, I just bought this big Buddha, and now we have to clear out the greenhouse, and we have to build an altar, and we have to, you know, and it took 5 guys and a forklift to get him up there, but here he is, blessing us. And I invite you to come at all different times. It's kind of neat to see him at night because it's so different than in the day, but when you just hang out and just watch him throughout the day and the lighting changing in here, it's pretty special. So I invite you to come back and enjoy that. So thanks for indulging me on the Buddha story, but it's one of my favorites.